Hello, welcome back. In the last video we discussed about our XPath, and in this video our plan is to do some more example on XPath. So here is a first example. So let's say you have this code snippets, and then your question is what XPath to select the complete document. Okay, that means, in other words, if I ask you the question, if you are in Windows directory, what is the structure that is going to select all the content of the C directory? The answer is C colon dash, right? And same thing we can apply here, and the answer will be /aaa. Okay, so this is the node, root node. If I do /aaa, it's going to select everything on the HTML page. Consider our example, whatever we are doing before, right? So if I want to choose the complete HTML page, on XPath is equal to /HTML. Okay, so check it. So do you see, like, it is selecting everything. If you want to say that, okay, I want to choose this element, okay, so /HTML, and then I'll go to body, then I'll go to table, okay, /table. So if I click on find now, so it is going to selecting complete table, and if I just do /tr, then it is going to select the first row. Okay, sorry, tr cannot do anything because it is under table. We have t body, okay, and then we have tr, so now we should be fine. See, this is the way that we are selecting the first row of the table. Okay, so this is how you are basically going to select in your XPath. Okay, so next question now. Consider the following snippets, and I want you to write an XPath which will select the element in number 7. So I want to select this element. Okay, so let's travel the node. So it will be /aaa, then I'll go all the way to D, because so this is B, C, and then this line 7 number B is existing under /ddd. So therefore /ddd, and then /bbb. So this is the answer. So that is going to select XPath under /bbb. So third question, consider this is the element, and I want you to select the element in red. Okay, so the answer is /aaa, and then how do you basically we have, if I do bbb, then it is probably going to select the first element. Okay, but I want to go to the number 4. To do that, what you do, we can give another thing, something like a index here, and that index is 4. So this is one way of selecting the element in red, and another way of selecting the element in red is /aaa /bbb. Then what you can do, you can use a function. That function is called last. So this is why I was telling you that XPath is some kind of a mini programming language, because it supports functions. So this is exactly where you use function. Then when you are going to use this thing, say for example you are generating a dynamic table. Okay, so for example you are generating a table, whatever you are seeing here, this is generated from a database, and if my database has 4 product, then it's going to show me product 1 2 3 4. If it's tomorrow is going to 50 product, then it's going to show me product 1 2 3 4 to 50. Then in that case, if you are locating your last element using bbb50, okay, then when you have 100 products, then this thing is going to fail, because it's not going to select the last one. So in that case, it will be more generic if you are going to choose use function, and if you write your XPath like this. And also there is another way of doing this thing. You don't need to give AAA. As long as you give /bbb, say 4, this is again is going to work. / is going to do, it's going to search anywhere it is finding bbb. Okay, so bbb4 is going to it's not going to go, and this is more flexible. Okay, because it does not really depend on the complete nodes. Okay, so therefore /bbb is this is another way of writing this XPath for this thing. So let's do one more example. Okay, so let's say you have your HTML is something like this, very simple HTML, and you want to locate this element using XPath. So basically what you see, this input, right? So in this tag, whatever you're saying, so this input is called an element. So the element name here is input, and inside that element input we have multiple attributes. This is attribute number 1, okay, this is attribute number 2, this is attribute number 3, and each attribute has something name and value pair. Okay, so for example, in case of this attribute, the attribute name is type and the attribute value is password. So if you have this kind of scenario, then you can write your XPath yourself. So the XPath will be // then you give the element name. The element name is input, then you give a bracket. Okay, so here what you have to give, you have to give the attribute name. Okay, so whatever the attribute name, you give at a rate, and in this case the attribute name is type, so therefore it's called type. And then to open a single quote, inside a single quote you give the value, and the value is password. Okay, so using this technique you can also locate your XPath. This formula is something like this: XPath is equal to / element name. Okay, so whatever the element that you find, then put in bracket, and then at a rate attribute name is equal to, in single quote, value. So this is what is kind of a generic thing. And also, if you do not want to match any input, you just see like, you know, attribute name is something like this value, then what you can do, you can do // just give star and then do the remaining thing. So this is what is you have called a regular expression. Okay, in that case, if instead of input, if tomorrow there is a div here, then this thing is going to match that div as well. Okay, the reason I'm telling you this is that this is basically making your things more flexible. If the problem with the absolute identification is that, you know, if you do everything using absolute path, if some HTML or something changed, then your XPath is going to fail. Okay, so you cannot, Selenium cannot locate using the XPath that whatever given. Okay, so therefore you get used with this thing. So let's do some example. Let's say go to this submit button, click, right click, and go to inspect element with Firebug. I am seeing something like this: input ID is equal to this thing. So in this case, since your ID is there, then you don't need to go for XPath. Just write ID is equal to submit 906. Okay, so this is how you're going to do. But if you want to write the same thing, okay, using the XPath that whatever I shown you right now, then it should be the element. So let me basically copy this thing, if I can copy HTML. Okay, so let's take it to put it here, paste. Okay, so this is my HTML, right? So what I'm going to do, so my element name is again input, so therefore I'm going to write // input, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the brackets, then I can give at a rate, the attribute name is type, then I can give in, but this XPath is going to work. Okay, so this is how you do. And let's say we go to a complex application like orbis.com. So I want to find out what is the XPath for this thing. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to inspect element with Firebug, so that it will take me to that value. And then as I say, I just copy HTML and get it to my notepad or something so that I can see. Okay, so basically in this case, what I have already something called name. Okay, so therefore I just give name is equal to hotel check-in. I don't have to really create an XPath, but still if you want to create an XPath, okay, the XPath here will be // the element name is input, that's a tag name, then bracket, then the attribute name is at a rate type is equal to text.